So my peat bales are coming along quite well. My sunflower's getting to be quite tall. And I have all of these greens, so I have some kale there, and then some of these Asian greens, right? So the other kind of, I tried to put the cabbagey sort of things at this end, and the lettucey things at the other end, and I think it'll look nice. There's more sunflowers and some morning glory, and there's some beans in there too, and a little tomato that was pathetic, and it lived in this bale since April the 28th, so it can live. And this one's doing a bit better, but I'll have to train that up before it gets too stuck in its ways laying along the bale, because I don't want it laying along the bale. So I have to trim these back sometime today, so I'll have to do that this morning before it gets hot. And then, I mean, you can see a bunch of squash in each bale. I have a different kind, and I'm going to train those up. So every day I have to come through in the morning. This guy will need some water, and train up the whatever needs training up the trellis, right? Because I can't have it growing too long along the, like, laying horizontally, or I won't be able to train it up without breaking it, and then that won't be very good because it won't have anywhere to grow. So yeah, everything's looking good so far. I put dill in one bale and carrots of different kinds in others, and I'd have to look at my map to know which are which, honestly, unless I rub the plant, and I don't want to rub the plant because I don't want to hurt it. So, because right now they're just little babies, they really can't take it too well. So, this guy's laying, but I can't really fit him up anywhere yet. So it's, I don't know if you can see with the light, 6 in the morning on May the 27th. I got 7 hours and 22 minutes sleep, which is fine. That's close enough, I think. And I have a dandelion there, but that's all right because I'm going to juice that for James at some point because it's nice and fresh and young. So that won't taste too bad. And put a few things in pots. This one's doing pretty well. It's got pretty tall in here. And I still haven't gotten around to transplanting these, so I have to water them pretty near every day. I'll have to water them this morning. And somebody's been digging there. Anyway, so that's... My deck plants are looking pretty good. That one needs some water. I'll take care of that once I am done my coffee. Let's just move this over here. There we go. That should stay put. There's leaves all over this. Oh well. A leafy bottom. A little bit achy still. I have this whole system where I don't move around too much in the morning. I just do slow motion kind of movements, and like when I'm making the coffee, it's more like a kind of controlled Pilates. Anyway, everything I do is modified kind of exercises, but yeah, canning is brutal on a person. That's what I was doing yesterday, but it's a bit achy today. But achy in fine places, not achy in oh, there goes my problem areas, you know. So I did okay. Like my back hurts, but it's not my lower back, and it's not feeling like, you know, sometimes you get the twinges going and you're like, oh, should be careful today. But nope, I think I'm okay. I just have to really stretch out this morning and then start with the watering cans. So, and the pruning. Maybe I'll do the pruning first and then the watering. The watering's harder, heavier work. Anyway. So I started listening to Stuart McLean, Spinal Cafe thing. And I love listening to his audiobook. It's funny because I didn't hear about him being on CBC, and I just started reading his books, like in paper form. I didn't know he was on CBC. And then I lent a friend, or maybe I gave it to him. I can't remember. But I lent a friend or gave him a book. And when I lend, I'm expecting not to get it back, because this is how people are. So, anyway, so either way, I was giving the book, but however I conveyed it, whatever. So, and he said, I listen to him on CBC all the time, you know, whenever it was. I think it was Sunday, he said. And I was like, oh, he's on CBC. And he was like, so anyway, I don't listen to him on CBC. I really don't understand why, you know, it's funny how people, they'll get excited by, like, you can set up your own schedule of how you want to do things. Like, you might want to listen to Stuart McLean while traveling to go to a hike, say, or that's what I like to do. But right now I'm just listening to it because we're not going on a hike, and I don't know if James feels like it lately. He's very stressed out. I had to talk him back from his stress yesterday, and I'm not good at that. That is not, like, he stays happy all the time, and that works out great because I tend to be a bit down, right? So it's better if I'm the one who's grounded in reality and he's the one that's up in the clouds somewhere, because he's good there. He's happy, and when he's happy, then I'm not as stressed out, right? So he gets stressed out, and then I get stressed out. I can't. So it makes it harder for me to, like, I take care of his needs and distractions, so from things that may stress, but somehow I was not doing a good job. And, well, you know, the thing is, really, it's this course, and he wouldn't see it if I told him, so I won't tell him, but this is what's stressing him out. And so yesterday, he was like, these chihuahuas are gonna kill me, the stress, and blah, 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 and this and that. And why can't other people just, you know, other people are doing this and that and this and that, and he's getting stressed out with this. And I'm like, you can't, they don't need to be a part of your life, you know, like if they're stressing you out, they don't exist. It's fine, you know, just don't think about them. They don't need to be a part of you. And so I'm trying to talk him down from this, and I finally managed to, and I'm pretty impressed with myself because I'm not good at that sort of thing. I can't even do it for myself very well, but I am good at planning and distracting. So this is usually what I do. Like with the cancer, I realized the treatments might actually get him down. Well, you know, almost nothing gets him down. He's down a little bit, quite a bit yesterday. But really, he's up there most of the time, so it's pretty easy for me. But with the cancer, I was concerned. So when he was getting the treatments, I would figure out other things. Like we'd go to the appointments, and for whatever he was getting done or whatever. And it was just kind of like I mean, there's some things like the hospital stay. In Edmonton, I'd take I guess it's subway there, isn't it? Well, anyway, I'd take it and go down to the public library, and I'd get out a whole bunch of CDs, and I can't remember how many CDs they let me take out at once. Quite a few. Not as much as Calgary. That system, you can take out 99 at a time. So anyway, well, and before that, in Grand Prairie, I was getting poetry books, because I had to think, okay, well, what things are most important to James? And he's a poet, and he loves poetry, and so I was reading poetry. And he was really sick in Grand Prairie, so I really worked to try to bring him up. And I was ordering books in from all over the place through the library system. So thanks to the public library system, and still a lot of work through me, I was able to keep him interested in living. So at that point, he was sick. But anyway, then in Edmonton, it was CDs, and I'd get all sorts of different kinds of music, and I would wipe down the cases with alcohol on the way in, and the nurses, they were just like, you don't have to be so careful. I mean, he's in here, and if he catches something, we can treat it. And you know, every day that I was going to the library, I would look at, they had posters about superbugs and stuff on the subway walls, and it's like, you can't treat everything, you know, and he's in a weakened state, and here they were bringing, like, they had volunteers, which, thank you volunteers everywhere, but they were bringing in newspaper and socializing, and finally I told him, you know, I'm here to socialize with him, don't come. That was really kind of harsh with people, but I mean, but I mean, there's only so many times that you hear of somebody with a sniffle coming in to bring you a free newspaper, and it's like, yes, thank you, but like I told them, I'm very appreciative for all the work that you're doing, but you know, he's in a weakened state right now. He just can't. Anyway, I tried to be kind about it. Anyway, so he didn't manage to catch a superbug. He did catch something there, but on his feet. I don't know what. But you know, they were using the same mop bucket water every room, right? Like, and who knows? Probably outside they'd come in with the same mop bucket from. Like, this was a quarantine kind of area, right? Where because he has no immunity at that point. When he's getting the stem cell treatment, and yeah, they were just mopping every single patient's floor with the same water. I was watching them, and I'm like, pfft. But whatever. So anyway, but they treated that, and that was fine. So I don't know what was up with his feet, but something was going on there. And they gave him a cream, and I rubbed it on his feet, and he got better. But anyway, in Calgary was the music too, so we'd go, like, say there was an appointment when, for whatever, I don't know what they were doing, but I was a lot less involved this second time around. I was involved with the distraction process, not the what are they doing with this cancer thing. Oh, I was going to the appointments, and like some of them, when they were with the specialist, he didn't think I liked him, but you know, I did. I'm stressed out around people, so people often think that I don't like people, but that's not it. It's that I am like, it's really hard for me to concentrate when I'm around other people because I just want to leave. I just want to go be alone, and I don't want to have to communicate. It's very stressful. I can't concentrate at all, so I can't think. So if you want an intelligent conversation with me when I'm out in public, good luck to you. I can't think. It's like there's a disconnect between my thought processes and everything else. So anyway, but I did like him. I liked that doctor. He seemed nice and qualified to be there. I've gotten along with every specialist that we've seen. I have no problem with them. Anyway, so the music. So James loves music, right? So that's why I was going and getting the music all the time. So you're really down with the stem cell therapy. Really feeling, sick. Very sick when you get that. But anyway, he was doing well the second time. But he ended up getting another thing from the hospital there, some sort of, what was it, C. difficile or something? Anyway, but he's fine. And yeah, so that's one recommendation I have if you're getting cancer treatment, or, well, really, if I mean, I can really only recommend from the caregiver side of it. So if your husband or wife or whatever is getting treatment and you're the one having to care for everything, because they just have to survive. So you have to make sure that all that they have to worry about is just enjoying life, wanting to be alive still. So whatever it is that they do, that they like to do, they will do that if you meet all of their other needs without stress. So good luck. But the distraction. So you don't, when you go to appointments or whatever, make it something else. Like you show up for the appointment, and yeah, it's more like a social activity or whatever in passing to do something else. So say you're going to Calgary for treatment, and you stop at the library and get a whole bunch of CDs, and then like, well, you drop him off for his appointment, you go get the CDs, you come back, and you meet him there. He's probably still waiting for a doctor, or maybe he's in the process of waiting for another doctor, or whatever the case. You've arranged how much time you have, and you come back, and then you show him, oh, look at what I got, or you just tell him about it, or whatever. And he's so excited. But it might be something different for your spouse, or whatever. It might, like, mine's really into poetry and music, so that's what I focused on. Well, I could have focused on a few other things, but I wouldn't have known what I was doing. Like, his other interests, they don't overlap with mine. So, if I tried to do a good job with that, he would have still appreciated it. If I brought some mummy reading material or something like that, like he said, Egyptology and stuff. Or, well, I could have brought some things about, he's really into watching the stars and stuff, but I don't know if he needs any kind of thing like that. Like, did do one of the great courses about that. It's excellent. Like the package that was sent with the library items, it had all sorts of things so that you could actually, like it had, well, James knows the names of them, but I don't know. Little thing that you adjust to look at the constellation given a different time and where you are. So anyway, that came with whatever that thing's called. So, I mean, if you're interested in that sort of thing, that's another great distraction, is borrowing the great courses from your library. They're awesome. I mean, these guys, the great courses are taught by Ivy League kind of professors. The Gale ones, you have to actually, you have to work according to their schedule a lot of the time. I prefer the Gale health courses to the other ones because you just punch in, you can do the whole thing in one sitting if you want to. The other ones, they only open up one class every, I think they open up 2 classes a week. So it's one class on Wednesday, one on Friday, or something like that. I can't remember. My brain wasn't working really well, and I was piling too many things on until finally I just said to myself, if the tomatoes don't all get planted, they don't all get planted. Whatever. And I've been feeling a lot better now. So, and I decided not to take HTP because James thinks my moods are fine. I'm not swinging around or whatever. I think I'm a little grumpier than I should be. But then I was thinking, maybe I'm not grumpier than I should be. Maybe this is how I should be right now, given whatever. So I thought, okay, well, maybe I don't need that. So I'm not taking that. But yeah, set up distractions for yourself so that whatever things that you have to get done that aren't fun don't seem like the thing that you're setting out to do. So if you're going for an appointment in Calgary, like it might be something simple, like you're really into, this is probably not a great idea for if you're, I mean, you'll have to go by how sick you are or whatever, right? Like at one time in Grand Prairie, we made a trip out. Somebody had told me there was a great buffet restaurant. James is really into the bonanza kind of experiences, right? And so there was one that it was supposed to be a really great buffet. It was $25 a person or something to sit at all you can eat thing. So I was expecting something amazing, but what it was like total paleo. It was like really high fat, really high protein, and mostly fried foods, and it's like, ooh, this was not healthy. But anyway, he was sick. But anyway, so you have to judge it yourself, what you can handle. It might not be going to a restaurant. Well, that might make the day a lot worse. But I don't know, hiking if you can handle it. Or just going to the library and picking up in a different city. That's great too.